So I'm Rebecca Nguyen. I am the founder and owner of Print Driven and also RHN Media. I am super passionate about cars, of course, but mostly about the community and what the cars do for us. I got into the creative fields quite a bit just to understand a lot of what my profession entailed. And so I got into photography, a little bit of video work, a little bit of graphic design. So I just kind of dabbled in things that interested me and then kind of put all the pieces together to be where I am right now. My older brother actually was the first one to really get into sports cars. He ended up buying an Acura WRX Type S, and that was my first experience with sports cars, and that's when I got really excited about what else was out there. So yes, the sports car was kind of what intrigued me and kind of opened my eyes to a different world of cars, but there was a long span of time where I didn't pursue it. My childhood wasn't great. Let's just leave it that way. My dad was a Vietnam War vet and not necessarily on the US side, so he had a very traumatic childhood and past in general. Coming to the United States, as an immigrant, there's only so much that you know, and you're trying to adapt to so many different things. And trying to raise a family of 5 in a new country, and trying to figure everything out, things were tough. So there was really no time for us to be passionate about anything because he was always focused on getting us prepared for our future, for living in America. Granted, we didn't understand what that meant, and there was a level of animosity, so we had a very broken household. So as I got older, I ended up reconnecting with my older brother because he had left our home at a younger age, and I reconnected with him when he actually bought this Subaru. So this Subaru actually used to be my older brother's when he was in high school, but this was the moment that really opened my eyes to what kind of connection you can have because of a car. So when I was 15, he was about to be on his way to move to Pennsylvania to go to college out there, and I had told him that I really wanted him to teach me how to drive. And so I actually learned how to drive on this car with my older brother, and it was my fondest memory with this car, probably the reason why I'll never get rid of it. That connection is really what spoke true to me and was something that I wanted to share. So after he left for college, I ended up buying this car from the family, and it became my first car. I believe that this male-dominated industry is also trying to learn how to operate around the changes that are happening. So I don't want to say that it's been a huge challenge for me, but it is a handicap. And that goes hand in hand with a lot of things. Like ethnicity can be a handicap, age can be, and of course gender. So it's been tough to navigate, especially in authoritative positions. I've been in the industry about, I think, 6 or 7 years now, in the aftermarket side as well as the collector car industry, and now on the marketing side specifically. Females in this industry are actually, it's not as uncommon as it used to be or as it's currently perceived, to be honest. And there's a lot of women that have already laid the groundwork for us, and it becomes very easy to try and be competitive while you're being competitive with the environment itself. So being supportive of each other has proven to be very successful. So Print Driven is an online website that sells prints from a network of photographers. And it's also a profit share system with the drivers, which is very unique. Most of the time when you see this type of merchandise, it's either directly from the driver or directly from the photographer. It's never a connection between, which didn't make sense to me when I was shooting, like Formula Drift. So I had this abundance of photography that was this, I love these photos, well, I wanted to sell them. But I almost felt a little bit of guilt. I know how much work, sweat, and tears go into building a car, so then I was like, well, how do I create something that adds value to both parties? So I created this driver program where for each print sold, the driver ends up getting 25% of that back, and then the photographer gets the rest of the profits. And neither party has to do anything different. They just do what they've been doing. All it is that the photographer submits photos to me that then I fulfill if it becomes ordered. So that's why Print Driven became a thing, and that was also a reason for me to experience entrepreneurship on my own. The silent success, I feel like, is the most important success, but sometimes it is nice to share because I do want other people to succeed, and if my story helps, then fantastic. Job well done.